Job by Herb letting him survive there.
I tell you what, though, this is
Oh
good,
my
Darren.
goodness.
This could be it with another big shot.
Oh,
You gotta watch out.
That's
Uncle of all trades, back again with another video. UFC 259, no contest. If that were a WWE pay-per-view, that's what it would be called. UFC 259, no contests. Why? There were two no contests. All right, I'm talking in an English accent because in the main event you had the Briton Leon Rocky Edwards, more like Leon Doofus Edwards, okay? More like Leon, I want to strike like John Jones Edwards and then keep my hands spread like this and then paw out my opponent and then raise the chances of me poking them in the eye significantly, 100-fold, okay? Poor Balal Muhammad, like, did you see his eye? Like, that was a grown man on the verge of tears because of the excruciating pain. UFC Fight Night tonight, the Apex in Vegas. Main event, Leon Edwards against number 13 ranked Balal Muhammad. The opening fight on the main card had your boy, Eryk Anders, light skin power, against Darren, the dentist Stewart, okay? Now, I don't know if he calls himself the dentist because he has pearly white ass teeth or just because he knocks guys' teeth out, okay? The fight's going good, like I said in the last video, all right? And, you know, in the first round, these two were like nearly emptying the gas tank, all right? Eryk, your boy Anders, came in much better shape. Stewart was also in shape too for a dentist. Most dentists are fat and old, but he was in shape and he was black. Back and forth action, they're up against the fence. Anders catches Stewart with some shots, rocking him, right? They go up on the fence and then all of a sudden Stewart drops down. I think he gets hit with a shot, and then of course, you know, Anders is in the zone. He's thinking about finishing. He's not thinking about, oh, hey, this guy just dropped down to one knee. He's grounded. Let me go to the UFC rulebook that is in my head right now when he's got adrenaline and all kinds of things running and coursing through his blood. He's thinking about the finish. Stewart intelligently is defending himself, right? Unlike Aljamain Sterling, right? Stewart is up against the fence and he's got like one hand on his face, right? Because he's like, well, I'm down, you know, I can at least be punched in the face. I know according to the rules, I can't be kneed, but I can be punched, but I could be kneed. And guess what? He got kneed. It was an illegal knee. Herb Dean was the referee this time. He immediately stopped the action, and there was some gray area type stuff here. So basically, Herb Dean brought in the official, I guess, Nevada State athletic doctor or something like that. Looked at him, you know, and Herb Dean was like, Doc, what do you want to do? What do you want to do, Doc? He's like, it's all on you. As soon as he said that, I can see that doctor's like soul just leave his body. He's like, he looked at Herb Dean like, you really just did this on like live television. You put it all on me. Like everyone's going to, like I've read the tweets when they come at you, Herb. Now you want me to come at me. So the doctor looked at Herb Dean like, oh shit, okay. And he basically like begins to initiate like a sobriety test. Like he steps back and he tells Stewart to walk towards him, which so Stewart is like, you know, he's a little bit wobbly, but he walks towards him. You know, he stands up. He wants to continue. He verbally said he wanted to continue, and he physically proved he wanted to continue. And then, you know, the doctor looks back and like I could tell just by the doctor's body language and demeanor, he was not sure with his decision. Like he didn't even know how to call it, but I think he was more afraid of backlash of allowing him to continue and risking serious injury. So he just said no, because he wasn't even confident in his no. And so Herb Dean was like, okay, all right. And then bam, Herb just calls it off. Boom. And it's ruled a no contest. So put a little pin right there. Everybody was saying Yan should have been stripped of the title. He should have lost that fight to Sterling. Now, I understand these situations were different in regard to the placement in the ring, in the octagon, right? Stewart was up against the fence, and, you know, I guess he could post, and he, you know, his right hand or his left hand like this because he had the fence there to block, so he was kind of just blocked in there. You could argue that Sterling was just out in the open. They were in the middle of the octagon, so it's not like Sterling could have just like put up one hand because Yan was in front of him. But again, there was like no defense. There was no defense from Sterling, and that's exactly what I was trying to say. It was kind of fishy, to me at least. Now, why was Sterling's situation with Yan ruled a disqualification, strip a man of his title who was winning on the judges' scorecard, and then you rule a no contest, which is what I was arguing this whole entire time, to the exact same situation, different spatial placement in the octagon, and it's a no contest. Dude, what are you doing? Like, jazz hands? Biz Bing and the other commentator were like, oh, well, some of the knee was blocked, right? Stewart blocked some of the knee, Anders threw. What does that fucking matter? What does it matter? Listen to me, people, okay? An accident can cause just as much damage, if not more, than intention, okay? So the UFC needs to go in and reform this whole accidental illegal knee, intentional, because what is it? As you'll see later on in the fight with Edwards and Muhammad, accidental doesn't mean shit. The damage is the damage. That's what we can see. So that was ruled a no contest with Eryk, Anders, and Stewart. And I'm like, okay, like I said, yes, Yan threw the knee, but he didn't blatantly break the rules. That was not his intention. His intention was not to throw an illegal knee. His intention was to knee Sterling, but his intention was not to throw an illegal knee. He was under the impression that Sterling was okay to be kneed in the face legally, but everybody else saw that he was not. He had one knee down. So it's just like, this is what I'm talking about. There's just inconsistency. So that doesn't make any sense to me at all. Somebody please explain that to me in the comments below as best as you can. I would love to hear what Dana White has to say about this. By the way, that was Mark Smith, who was the referee in the Yan Sterling fight. Moving on to the main event now. Leon Edwards Roque makes his return to the octagon after like 600 days off, they said, or something like that. I don't know what the deal is with this guy. Are people afraid to fight him? I don't know what. He's the number 3 ranked welterweight. And I'm like, I would love to see Wonderboy Thompson fight him, or, you know, I don't know, Masvidal, who's the number 4 ranked welterweight, and they kind of have some beef. Masvidal gave him a 3-piece, but, you know, Masvidal has ascended to the heavens, so he's kind of above Edwards. Edwards is beneath him. Anyway, the fight starts off good, right? I believe things start to go in Edwards' favor once he throws a head kick. Catches Muhammad with a head kick, and I guess the prior to the head kick, I guess Herb Dean had warned Edwards about his fucking fingers. He was taking a page from John Jones' book, and with the, you know, with the eye pokes and trying to make like he's like trying to bait or grab the guy or feint or do something, but it's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, jazz hands?
Upstage, put up your left jazz hand, then your right jazz hand, and then wave them.
He goes to throw like a body kick, but he like puts his hand, throws it his open palm at the same time, and like just jugs Balal. Like, I don't know if it was his thumb. It's just nasty because Muhammad's reaction was like this. A grown man was on the verge of tears. Like, he was like he immediately like dropped, ran to like the fence, kneeled down, and was like just in pain. I can't imagine what that felt like. And it's just like, dude, you got warned before. And it's like, and then they say it's no one's fault. It's no one's fault? Of course it's someone's fault. It's Leon Edwards' fault. Like, there's a huge difference between this and this, or even this. Like, I get sometimes you want to like catch a strike or parry. I did a couple years of Muay Thai. But it's like, I don't understand why you would need to touch someone's head when you're trying to kick them at the same time. I don't know. I'm not a martial artist. Maybe there's some secret Cobra Kai technique. I don't know. But that was totally Edwards' fault. He was the one that was throwing the technique in that manner in which it he had open palm, fingers exposed, extended, jugged Muhammad right in the eye, badly. And it's like, again, Herb Dean came in and they looked at it and it's like, no, you can't continue. His eye was red underneath, it was swollen. You can't continue. No contest. So 2 no contests in one event, 3 controversial finishes in 2 weeks on 2 events. Now, I think the UFC, the commission, Dana White, whoever needs to get together and look at this, because it's happened 3 times now. And something needs to be in place, because right now it's very subjective. It is very subjective. And it's like there's no intention, and accidental are subjective. And it's subject to who the referee is for that fight, to the angles that you're looking at, all kinds of things. And it's just like, I highly doubt any UFC fighter on that roster would just intentionally, knowingly throw an illegal strike. Like, I highly doubt any of them would like fish hook someone, eye gouge someone, headbutt someone, like knowing, hey, this move I'm about to do is illegal, but I'm going to do it anyway. None of them would do that. Like, they're professionals. So this is why the whole accidental and intentional comes into play. What I'm saying is that it should be judged based on the damage. There's a number of things you can look at here. You can look at, number 1, can the fighter stand up on their own 2 feet after the foul? Can they stand up on their own 2 feet? Can, you know, is there significant visible damage on the fighter, right? Are they bleeding? Are they gushing blood? Is there, you know, their eye swollen or something like that? And I really think that there should be more objective standards and rules and just kind of steps in place now. It's like, if they just sat down in a room and thought about these different scenarios, they could figure it out. I mean, they have 3 now that have happened. They can use that as a guide. It's like, geez, and again, tonight, this fight night makes the case even more for Yan. It makes the case even more for Yan, because it's like 2 no contests are ruled as a result of the victim not being able to continue. But the battleground was it intentional or was it accidental? And it's like, come on, dude. So you can make the argument for the eye poke that Edwards did. He intentionally was throwing a kick. He even said himself, you know, I didn't mean to. I wasn't trying to do that. I was trying to catch him with a kick. Okay, but so you intentionally put your hand out while you threw the kick, which gouged him in the freaking face. Petr Yan did not intend to break the rules. He intended to knee an opponent that he thought was in a legal position to be kneed in the face. And that's what he did. And I will compare Sterling to Stewart. Stewart had his hand up. That is a defense. That shows awareness. I'm in a position where I am crouched. My opponent is above me. Yes, he's most likely going to punch me, but he can knee me. That's exactly what I was talking about with a friend of mine, like saying that you're driving. If you're driving, you can't depend on the rules to protect you. You can't say, oh, it's a green light, I'm going to go through even though I see a car about to turn and about to make impact with me. No, you slam your brakes, or you slow down. You evade. You don't just depend on the rules to protect you. You have to defend yourself at all. Why would you entrust a man who's trying to do bodily harm to you to follow? Like, right? You can be certain in a UFC fight that no one's going to headbutt you, or no one's going to like fish hook you. Like, these are just obvious, just taboo, cheating type of fouls, okay? But a knee is a knee is a part of the striking that you can do. It's just now, well, what kind of knee? You can't knee somebody when they're down. You can, at no point can you like fish hook. At no point can you headbutt. So it's like a knee is a natural strike, but yet there's a there's a stipulation, there's a condition. It's that if a guy has one knee down, and I'm like, what if that knee is like this much off the canvas? He's not grounded? That makes no sense. It makes no sense. What is the difference in damage? If this is the canvas and this is the point of Sterling's knee, okay, what difference in damage received to him does it make if his knee's in contact with the canvas or if it's up a little bit on the canvas? Or if he's like squatting? I don't know. Like in the last video I showed, there were more knockouts and more damage done from flying knees, standing knees. Knees in the ribs, the solar plexus. UFC, I need you guys to get your shit together because one, to protect the fighters. Okay, something. Do something. Okay? Most importantly of all, go get Jan's belt back and give it to him. Strip that fake Master Sterling. This has been Mark of All Trades. That is the bottom line. I'm going to come to you guys once again. We got another UFC event coming up next week. We got Holland and Brunson. That's going to be a good one. I'm going with Holland. Let me know what you guys think about that, your predictions, who you think is going to take that fight. Is it the fight actually going to have a definite end, or is it going to end in a no contest? God, I hope that there's no juju or curse now on these UFC events and fight nights. So this has been Mark of All Trades coming at you, reminding you all to take up as many trades as you can and as you want, hone them and master them, because a jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one.